Hey, it's Freiberger, and I'm about to show you a sample episode of a show that we do on MotorTrendOnDemand.com that's called Roadkill Extra. It shows up every single weekday. It's got stuff like outtakes from shows, behind-the-scenes stuff, tech tips, you name it. You can see them all with a free trial at MotorTrendOnDemand.com.
Here we are. I have the 1984 Mazda RX7 that the guys used in Roadkill to build up for the Optima Ultimate Street Car Invitational, which is kind of like an autocross type deal. And believe it or not, they weren't very successful. And believe it or not, the buildup was not really much of a buildup other than putting the stickers on the car. So what we have here is a first generation RX7. These cars were on the sporty end when they came out in 1978, and the first gen ran all the way until 1984 with just minor changes like the bumpers and the front fascia and things like that. More importantly, the original engine in an RX7 was a 12A. It was rated at 1100 cc, and then later on they upgraded that to an optional 13B, which is 1300 cc. Unfortunately, this car has the small motor, but it does have the 5-speed stick, and the tires aren't too bald. The glass is a little dirty, and I think it's time to take this for a test drive. Oh, that is if it starts. Let's see. The ignition switch on this was butchered at the tech center when they lost the key. Oh, almost started. Oh yeah. There we go. Fired right up. Now you gotta love the burble and the sound of a rotary. And when you look at the tachometer in these cars, it's like, wow, they rev like crazy. But the thing you have to remember is the way the engine works, the rotor actually, or the rotors, because there's two, the rotors actually turn at 1/3 of the crankshaft speed. So even though it might seem like you're really revving out, don't worry about that big heavy rotor and all that mass spinning, because it doesn't. It spins, but it spins much slower than the crank. So here we go. That's first gear. I guess I'll buckle up for safety, since we do have seatbelts in this one. Now, the 5-speed transmission in these cars, it was a pretty slick piece. Very quick shifting when these cars were new, and unfortunately, I think this one's a little worn in the synchronizers. Now, the other thing these cars were known for was outstanding handling, which, considering the very simple McPherson strut front suspension and live solid axle in the rear, you wouldn't really think that was high-end handling stuff. But it was tuned really nicely with the sway bars and whatnot. Let's see if it hits something. Oh man, that clutch is slipping. I noticed this car has a handy little beeper to remind you to shift gears. Oh, power windows. And they almost work. Come on, baby, keep on going. Oh well, it's better than having it all the way down. The little buzzer was to remind you when you were on red line, because these engines were so smooth revving that you could easily just wind the thing to 7,000 and not even know it. Now this is a 5-speed, that's overdrive, so we're not really going fast enough for that. I'll just work the other way through the gears. Ooh, second gear synchronizer is garbage. You're not going to really win any drag races with the stock RX-7. These engines, a 12A, made 100 horsepower. Oh, yuck, this transmission is garbo. So, it does feel very stable on the road though. I'm traveling about 70 miles an hour and just cruising along pretty nicely. A little bit of vibration, but it's all coming from the rear end. I don't know why that would be. Now this is gonna suck, because I'm gonna try to take it around this corner kind of fast, but man, the GoPro. It went into a nice drift around that corner. I better slow down, I got traffic coming up here. So, pretty good turn in. The handling was very good. I like the way it corrected itself. Didn't really get too out of shape. That was a little more conservative, but yeah, you're waiting a little bit. This engine would be fantastic with a turbo. Now, originally I had the car at my place. I was considering cannibalizing the engine and transmission for my Sunbeam Alpine, but I just can't see it. This is just too nice of a machine. It's all here, it's all together, it runs. Granted, I don't have the key, but it would seem like a shame to pull this thing apart. Let's try a little off-road. Yeah, it does pretty good roadie. I noticed that the carburetor was very, very excellent. We don't seem to have any stalling or flooding going around fast corners. Brakes are pretty good. And I think this particular car has drum brakes in the rear, but you wouldn't know it from the way it stops. See how it makes a U-turn here. Oh man, that clutch kind of sucks on this. Yeah. I can smell clutch. Oh, there we go. The little 7,000 RPM buzzer is telling me to shift. Overall, it's pretty tossable. I mean, the handling is fantastic. Just like they said when these cars were new. The handling is probably one of the best things about it. See if I can do a little donut here. Yeah. I better watch that clutch. Just flip her around one more time. Ah. There we go. A little matched revs. Very, very fun to drive. You know what's interesting is Freiberger bought this car, and he's just not a foreign car guy, okay? But he ended up bonding with it. He likes the RX-7, and I can see why. Okay. With that worn out synchronizer, let's see if I can do a downshift by matching the revs. Yeah, there we go. That's the way you do it. Gotta double clutch it like a regular big truck. Otherwise, it grinds the gears. That's working. That was a good downshift, no grind. Kind of a pain in the neck to do. Let's look at the gauges. Oil pressure is good. Electrical's charging. Plenty of fuel. Temperature normal. All right, that's all good. I think we'll go for one more quick U-turn and then a high-speed turn. We'll call it a day. This might have been a little too much. Probably could have taken that 10 miles an hour faster, but just getting used to the car. I'll just wind it through the gears. 6,500 and 7,000. We're doing 90 miles an hour. That's not too bad. And I'll slow down right here. And there you go, the RX-7. Oops, forgot to rev it up. One more, just for fun. And that's our Mazda RX-7 road test, 1984. Until next time.
If you need more Roadkill Extra, go sign up right now.